So to preface this, I really did not like the first four Batman movies. And I'm not an animated movie guy at all, but it's kind of interesting that an animated movie was better done and taken more seriously than all four of the original Batman movies. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Kevin Jackwitz. This is the Kaged Review, and this is me reviewing Batman the Killing Joke. It seems like everything in the DC universe is pretty divisive, and there are always going to be some questionable choices made creatively. And the Killing Joke was no different, to be very honest. It was directed by Sam Liu. Kevin Conroy comes back to voice Bruce Wayne, Batman. Tara Strong as Barbara Gordon, Batgirl. Mark Hamill voices Joker. Maura Sterling as Paris Francisco, and Ray Wise as Commissioner Jim Gordon. So those are really your main characters. This movie is basically split into two. It is the Killing Joke and then everything they made to set up the Killing Joke. You start out with Barbara Gordon trying to prove herself to Batman as Batgirl, and of course he's telling her that this guy Paris France is he's a little bit psychotically attached to her, and that's never a good thing, and she really needs to be careful. And so she goes out of her way to, prove her worth, and eventually they take down Paris together. And that was kind of the setup to try to get you to care about Batgirl. And there's this big argument scene where Batman and Batgirl are going back and forth bickering, and then all of a sudden they're just making out and they start going at it. And a lot of people had problems with that, but even the comics kind of relate to that in many, many comics, actually. The Batgirl and Batman have some kind of history going on there. So that's not a big deal. But then you finally get to the second half, which is you find out the Joker is broken out of prison or Arkham Asylum, and he immediately goes after Jim Gordon. So he goes up to Jim Gordon's house. Batgirl answers the door, Barbara Gordon. Joker shoots her in the lower abdomen region, hits her spine, and of course she's never walking again. That's how she becomes the Oracle. And then he takes Jim Gordon and he tortures him. And the whole concept here is Joker wants to prove that somebody can go just as insane as he did, given the right circumstances and given the right pressures. And so he is trying to make that happen with Jim Gordon, and of course he is inviting Batman to this carnival that Joker has taken over, where he is torturing Jim Gordon, and Batman, of course, has to save the day. And it goes into a lot of stuff with the relationship between Batman and Joker that I thoroughly loved. I thought it was really, really great, and it kind of gives you some understanding as to why Batman doesn't want to kill Joker. He wants to try to save him, maybe from himself. And I thought that part of the movie, which was probably the second half, was very, very well done. The first half I thought was okay, but when it relates to the Killing Joke itself and the story there, it doesn't match up. It's literally two separate movies. You have to take one and then take the other. And so that does make it feel a bit disjointed, considering this is just over an hour long. You have to add something that's going to contribute to the relationship between Batman and Joker, or Joker and what he does to Batgirl. But that didn't do anything. That just tried to set you up caring about Batgirl, which I think was kind of a miss. So for that, to grade it all up, you really have to take that into account. And so for that reason, I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10, because I really did like it overall, and I really did like what they did with the Killing Joke part of it. Showed Joker being very despicable with Jim Gordon. Again, the relationship with Batman and Joker I thought was really good. They ended it with Joker making a joke with Batman that actually makes him laugh, and that's kind of where they cut frame. So I really liked how they did that. It was very cool. A big speech Batman gave Joker about, trying to save him. I thought it was all very well done. So ladies and gentlemen, that's where I'm at with it. 6.5 out of 10. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe, and share. My name is Kevin Jackowitz, Kaged Nation, out.